time to reawaken this industrial giant, to get government back within its means, and to lighten our punitive tax burden.
When Ronald Reagan promised a pain-free recovery, American voters sent Reagan to Washington and Carter home to Georgia. Reagan's solution was supply-side economics, also known as trickle-down.
Trickle-down economics suggests that if you give a bonus to people at the top, they'll trickle it down to folks at the bottom. So in other words, if I cut corporate taxes, corporations will invest in machinery, which will then cause them to hire more people because someone has to work the machinery.
If you're making the wealthy better off, that's going to increase investment, maybe generate more new businesses. And with those new businesses and the additional investment, it will move down in terms of creating more jobs and higher salaries for people within the economy.
It's a leap of faith. If you work on the supply side, you invest on the supply side, then things will happen on the demand side.
Reagan's supply-side theories were similar to those that had been in vogue during the 20s, prior to the Great Depression. They contradicted the Keynesian theories of the New Deal.
The big thing in Keynesian economics was to move the focus away from the supply side to the demand side. The reason that we saw a lot of the New Deal programs was just getting income in people's pockets. If they started to have jobs and got income, then they would spend it. Whether they were buying groceries or they were buying clothes, all of these are going to create jobs. And if businesses are actually seeing some spending, then they can hire some more workers in order to take care of those customers.
The bubble-up, New Deal kind of economics created all kinds of economic drivers for people at the bottom that had never existed. So the poor were empowered. People of color were empowered. I think there was a real resistance and almost a pushback on some of that. When you think about it, how do you shift from bubbling up to trickling down? And I think part of that is about you don't like what bubbles up, but you can control what trickles down.